before you wreck yourself. Okay, y'all. So I have no idea where that phrase comes from. Let me know down in the comments if you've heard it before or you know where it comes from or what the origin is. But I've been thinking about that. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. So I'm sitting here thinking about how I need to monitor me. And that's everything from diet, from lifestyle, from language, from thoughts. I'm like, how am I making sure I'm checking myself? A lot of times people try to check somebody else, in the words of Sheree from Real Housewives of Atlanta, who gonna check me, boo? But I'm like, no, because you need to check yourself. So today we're talking about checking our own selves, sweeping in front of our own home before we go sweeping in front of somebody else's. So, a lot of things I've been realizing I do sabotage myself. So I've been leaning into my language, right? Trying to be much more aware of the words that I choose to describe myself or the words that I just put out in the atmosphere. Because I believe, what you put out comes back to you. It's like the power of manifestation. So if I talk negatively about myself, or if I say my little podcast, why has it got to be a little podcast? My ginormous podcast, my creation, or my my YouTube channel. I'm trying to make it work. Why are you trying? Why don't you just claim it that this is working? Your YouTube channel is growing and you are providing people with information and different perspectives that they need, that they were looking for, that they were in search for. So just being mindful of the words that I use to describe myself, my projects, my work, my craft, any of that stuff. I'm like, some of this negative talk is coming from you. You are sabotaging yourself by making things small, by talking negatively of, and you're putting that out in the atmosphere. And my brain, your brain hears anytime that you're saying something negative about yourself or thinking negative thoughts, all of that stuff is just cycling back through and coming back to you. And you manifest that. You bring that to fruition. So I've been thinking about that, and I want you to think about that. Check how you talk to you. Check how you treat you. Check how you take care of yourself. One of the things too, I was reading, people that are looking to find out more about like what their love languages are, or how they want to be treated in a partnership relationship. The question is asked is, have you ever dated yourself? Have you ever taken yourself out? What's your ideal date? How would you like to be treated? So be mindful of checking yourself. Another thing was this past weekend, I was at church, and the song that came up was, and I don't know I think the song is called I Need You, but whatever it's called, the lyrics are, I need you. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. How many of us harm ourselves with the words from our mouth? How many of us put out bad juju for ourselves with the way we talk to ourselves, the way we beat ourselves up, the way we guilt or shame ourselves? Let that breathe. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. So what I want you all to think about is spending some time to really learn about yourself. I had this, I would call it interesting experience a few days ago. I was speaking to one of my relatives and I asked them, hey, what do you like to do for fun? Mind you, this is a senior relative, so they're in the senior citizen category. And he responded with, I don't know. And I was a little shocked. I'm thinking to myself, wow, at this, like, what I would consider big age, you don't know what you like to do for fun? Then the other question I asked is, what goals do you have for your life? And the response I got back was, I haven't really thought about it. I was like, whoa. I'm trying to like contain my like shock and maybe like a little just kind of pleasure, or just finding that someone at this age has lived this long, doesn't know what they like to do for fun, and says they don't like know their goals or can't name them, or maybe they didn't want to share them. I don't know what that was, but it really made me think about, like, could I answer those questions for myself? Or was I spending so much time just going through the motion, trying to make it day by day, that I forgot to live? Do you know yourself? Can you answer those questions for yourself? So I want you to think about, what do you like to do for fun? What do you like to do that has no financial gain, no numerical benefit attached to it? It's just something that lets your hair down. And if you don't have any hair, maybe it's something that just lets the wind blow over your head. What is that for you? My challenge for you today is to do some self-study. That's what I'm doing for myself. Find out more about you. What makes you tick? What makes you light up? What makes you feel good inside? What makes you smile? What makes you laugh? What makes you feel like you're on top of the world?